should be live. Hopefully you can hear me on the mic. Hopefully the audio is good. I can't see the chats or anything. It's been kind of a slow day doing Uber. Haven't really had any rides come in yet today except for one, so I was going to get ready to drive to Brownsville. So I may pause the video in between rides, or while giving rides. As we're testing out full self-driving beta 10.2. I did go over to Boca Chica today and took some pictures that I hope I can get around to pulling them off the camera, uploading. Also went by and I bumped into Felix at What About It. He's out here and he's heading back today. So it was nice to sit down and talk to him and a few other people out there. So check out his channel. He does a great job. He was out there at the Rocket Ranch visiting. He spent Thanksgiving there. His wife and his lovely family there. The mic's not near me, so hold on. Let me get this over here. I'm just hooking things up, putting the seatbelt on. And I think I was going to attach the mic to the seatbelt. And try to be kind of relaxed on this. Let's see here. We got the full self-driving software, 10.5. It's been kind of hit and miss every now and then. It doesn't like to slow down on its own rapidly. So when you go to speed zones, you have to disengage just to change it, get it to slow down. Otherwise, it'll keep going. I try to give the car as much leeway as possible. But we'll go ahead and engage this here. It's already signaling as it creeps up. It's done a few little weird things. It seems to sometimes want to run through red lights, which I don't care for. Not sure why. Still have issues on driving on the island though, and that's not a full self-driving issue. And this is the car. It's doing all the steering. It decided to go. Light was green. It went. The map issues do cause issues. We have these islands out here where we usually make left turns or U-turns on the island. And they seem to change these up every couple of years, from what it sounds like. So some places on the map where you were supposed to be able to make a left turn, you can no longer make a left turn. So the car is expecting to make a left turn and it can't, so it gets a little confused. And then it gets to another place where you're not supposed to make a left turn, or not supposed to be able to, but you can now. But since the map doesn't reflect that, the car doesn't know what to do. Hopefully that gets better with map updates. Again, like I have said in the past, I would really like to see a hybrid map, not just what the Google Maps that it has, but it'd be nice if they had a hybrid with Google and Tesla, and just have the Tesla right now seeing, it can see. So we're coming up to here, it can see it can make a left turn here now. Does that match the map, yes or no? So it can add that little bit of data to it, make it easier next time. Find all those static points, poles, turns, medians, things that don't change, and add those. Traffic cones, they're not static, but they could be a temporary static. And it'd be good to update that for other vehicles as well. I hope I'm streaming. I'm hoping that my audio is coming in okay. I don't have any way of really checking it right now. Next stoplight I come to, I may try to pull the stream up on the phone and see if I have audio and stuff to make sure it's working. It's a shame not to have a co-pilot, but oddly with Uber you can't drive with anybody else in the car, just the driver and whatever passengers you have. So that I always find kind of annoying. But yeah, I went over to Rocket Ranch to check them out today. They have a nice little setup there. Y'all can rent a little camper to stay there, or put up a tent or whatever you want, or stay at the house. They have different rates. Check them out. They also have nice packages if you want to come down here and get a launch package. I think they're running out of spots on their viewing platform, so get those early. And if a launch doesn't happen, the ticket's still good for whenever it does happen. So you're not out that money, which is very nice. And they're pretty close. They're pretty close. So that will be the closest viewing spot you have to everything that SpaceX does. If I could afford it, I would love to be able to, have a spot there where I can actually set my equipment up, but that's not something in my budget at this time. That's why I'm out here trying to drive Uber, waiting for some rides to pop up so I can make a little bit of money. I've made $9 so far today. Not much. But, it's already 4 in the afternoon, so it's hasn't been that good of a day. But I did spend some time talking to some people over there at River Ranch. I just wish if I was better at names. I keep forgetting a lot of names, which is sad because I have 6 sisters and a bunch of nieces, and I can remember most of my sisters' names, or all of my sisters' names, but my nieces, forget it, I can't. But yeah, I got to meet Felix while he was over there. What about it? Nice signed card from him. Very nice guy. It was nice to sit down and talk to him. He's done a wonderful amount of work. And I'm sure he's, you had mentioned he didn't think he'd ever be at this spot here. I'm actually signaling the car to move over to the lanes itself instead of letting it doing it. It likes to stay in the right-hand lane through town here. I prefer the left. Especially since we will be making a left up here and we don't know how the traffic's going to be. I'll try to give the car a little bit more chances. It is getting over earlier to make turns, but some areas, like I say, is a mapping issue. 10.4 usually had a little bit of problems up here coming up to one of the bends up here, mainly because the lines weren't clear in the road, so it was hard to figure out where the lines were. If my video breaks up any and gets, all funky, please let me know in chat so I can review it later. They did push out an update Friday to the device to hopefully fix that issue. I'm hoping it's fixed. I do plan on doing a live stream tomorrow, so I don't plan to, going to be primarily covering SpaceX. I don't plan to I'm trying not to drive tomorrow, but I really need to. I also have to pay the room fee at the hotel. See, now this is doing good. Right here where the lines weren't, it used to jump all the way over to the right. Now it's not. It's still home to the left, which is a lot better. Makes me rest at ease. Always scares me when it tries to jump over there. And that did that with the regular autopilot as well, mainly because it couldn't see any lines, and it's in a turn, in a curve. So, unmarked roads in a curve used to cause some problems. And the car does great seeing better than I can. Right now, with the sun's angle, I can't see any markings on the road at all. um, through my eyes. You know, they're slightly faint here. I see some places where the paint has been removed, and if, I know to the left of that is where the center markings are now. I'm not sure what the car is picking up, was where the paint's removed or where the actual paint is. But it is doing a very decent job of seeing stuff that is hard for me to see. The car doesn't look at the images like we do. In other words, if you take a photograph and what we see, we're assuming that's what the car sees, but the car can see in a different spectrum. It can offset the colors to give more contrast between different items and to help distinguish things. So it doesn't have to see things in the exact same color. It can probably work best black and white and just go by the shading, and that gives it a whole lot more contrast to see, and not having to worry about certain little shade coloring difference of vehicles and stuff. Yeah, nighttime cameras usually work best in black and white because it just, you can pull out. This should be getting over now. Yeah, here we go, finally. Yeah, a little wonky there, but it's doing okay. We have the green arrow, so it's going to go ahead and go. It's going to switch over to the highway stack. That was very shaky. And they really need to move that camera icon over here. It's just hard to reach all the way over there and not go to the seat adjustments. They should put it right here for the beta testers so that we can touch and change it or report issues a lot easier. Right now this is kind of a highway area, so it's going to pop up to the other stack here in a minute. And naturally, you know, I was saying I was going to try to open up the stream myself to check it out, make sure it was looking good and stuff, but at the next red light, and I haven't been in a red light long enough to do that. And now it's on the highway stack, and even that has changed. In the updates, that's gotten better as well. So they haven't forgotten about that. They're still doing updates on that in the background. And now it's pumped up to the full 75 miles per hour that this road is on. It's been a stressful day for me, you know. Dropping someone off at work, I don't mind. That's good. That's a little bit of money there. And then, you know, hanging around Rocket Ranch to meet Felix. You know, he comes all the way over from Germany. I figured I don't get much of a chance to meet some of the YouTubers that I really admire their work. So I got to meet him, talk to him. He has his wife and his family there. Also talked to another YouTuber out there. Spoke to her. Had a nice little chat with her. Very wonderful lady. I will, you know, put a link later to her YouTube channel. Jessica, and I'm trying to remember the last name. But she has some good videos there. We need to get her more followers. She's a good legit YouTuber. She's not out there, you know, buying viewers and buying, you know, subscribers. She's doing it right. She's, you know, letting the channel grow slowly, and as it grows, not trying to take any cheap shortcuts, not trying to, you know, get rich quick off of the her YouTube. She's not out there trying to, peddle stuff that is unrealistic, and so she's a wonderful lady. But yeah, we're looking at some testing coming up with SpaceX this next week. They got some time to try to see what we can see on the testing tomorrow. Of saying that all these things are mandatory, that needs to be done before they can launch. But this environmental assess SpaceX would like to be doing there, I don't read that as being a requirement for launch. This looks more like a list of stuff that SpaceX plans to do, and they are trying to get FAA's approval to do all these things. The desalination plant, the power plant, and everything. Right now they're running more power lines down from Brownsville to Starbase. So the power company is busy working on providing more power to Starbase. Liquid oxygen, liquid methane for the launches. Reports are there would take about maybe 50 semi-truckloads of fuel to fill up the tank farm. The tank farm near the orbital launch pad, all those big containers, well, that's enough for one launch. Probably a little bit extra because if you have an abort, you need to top off. But I don't think it's enough to fill 2 starships. So if they want to have very rapid launches of starships, yeah, that might be a slight issue. Right now, it's trying to change lanes. It wants to change lanes. The freeway stack, when changing lanes, communicates back and gets okay before changing lanes. So sometimes it just won't change lanes if it doesn't have any data connection. Full self-driving seems to be all on board, nothing going back to the mothership, which is good. And like I say, I'm driving. When I come to a stop, I can try to look at any of the chats to see if anybody's asking any questions. Once we get to level 4 or level 5 where we could do distracted driving, it'd be nice to be able to really interface with the viewers and talk to them as we go on, but that's kind of hard to do. I really wish there was a way to, do a text-to-speech and have it announce the chats. That would be kind of nice. But then it would be kind of bad if someone wants to have fun and just type in some not so pleasant things to say. Again, right now, I've been on the island for a while. I've only had like one ride, and they tipped decently. That was in Brownsville on the way back from not River Ranch, that's back in Louisiana, on the way back from Rocket Ranch. So I'm kind of driving towards the mall in Brownsville, hoping some rides would pop up. Because I'm way behind. I really need to make a lot of money. And just like tomorrow, there may be something going on at SpaceX. I want to live stream it. That takes time out of my day when I could be making money. And that kind of makes me unhappy. Well, I got a trip here picking up at the airport. So I'm going to pick these people up. I may just pause the stream until I drop them off. But navigate to the Brownsville airport. Okay. So this is a 19-minute ride. I'm not sure where we're going. I may ask them if they would like to let me keep streaming on YouTube. I would not mind, but for their privacy, I may just mute, or, well, not mute, but pause the live stream. And so, now this should pause for a length of time, and if y'all want to keep asking questions in chat or talk in chat, y'all should be able to. And then the video will resume once I unpause it. SpaceX is constantly working on things, like I was saying. They're hoping for a lot of launches next year. Some people are saying they want to do 12 launches next year. I think that's kind of really pushing it. I think more realistically, we might see 6 launches, maybe 7, if they're allowed to do it. Now, you know, the first launch it's going to splash down in the Gulf if it doesn't blow up. The booster's going to splash down the Gulf, and the Starship itself is supposed to splash down off of one of the islands in Hawaii. So we can say goodbye to all of those Raptor engines. 32 regular Raptor engines and 3 vacuum Raptor engines. So yeah, SpaceX needs to be building a lot more Raptor engines. They're working on their wider high bay. Booster 5, it looks like it was completely stacked. I believe that's Booster 5. We got nose cones from other Starships ready to go. I mean, but I would expect to be seeing a lot of Raptor engines showing up at Starbase. This should be switching back to the full self-driving stack in a second. This does a pretty good job on this little stretch going to the airport. I've taken quite a few people here with the full self-driving. They've been thoroughly impressed. I did have a couple that I was driving, and by the time I got to the airport, you know, they're like, well, can you show me how this car drives by itself? And they were kind of shocked when I told them it's been doing that since I picked y'all up, that I haven't done anything. So they thought I was driving all the time. Undoubtedly, they weren't paying attention when I mentioned it when we started driving, because I asked them first. And, you know, Dr. Know-It-All was mentioning some things in his video that would be nice is to have a, you know, a precious cargo, or I don't know if I'm going to call it precious cargo, but how about transport nitro? That's what we need. Transport nitroglycerin. Something, you know, if you're carrying something that might spill, or you don't want shaken up so much, because when I'm doing Uber Eats, I hate carrying a bunch of drinks and what have you, and I try not to use the full self-driving then, because I don't want any rapid, unexpected braking or extremely fast turns, and spilling all the drinks and stuff. Full self-driving beta will wash the windshield when needed, so it will turn on the windshield wipers and washers on its own, and it's not very polite when it doesn't, when you're at a drive-through window and they get kind of wet from that. Wasn't very nice of the Tesla for that, but I don't know. That's the car for you. And not sure why it kind of moved over there, but it's moving over quite a lot earlier than it used to, and it seems to be zigzagging back and forth. It used to wait till like the last second to get over, but it is doing better getting over earlier, which is good for this. So right now we have a flashing yellow light, or flashing yellow arrow actually. It's seeing it there. And if it will go, I'm not sure. We are clear. So it should, yeah, and there it goes. And the light's starting to turn red, so it needs to hurry up. So a little jiggly there. On its own, really. But maybe if I put it on the chill setting, and when it goes to a slower speed zone, maybe it will brake a little bit harder then. I should try that and find out. Switch it over to chill. I am having a small issue I'm going to have to contact the service center about. My profile settings for the seats. It saves all my settings, mirrors, steering wheel, everything, seat height, where it's forward or back, what have you, but reclined. It wants to keep everyone in a reclined position, laying back quite far. And I have to readjust each time the profile restores. No matter how many times I save it, it still defaults to a reclined position. And the car is jumping back and forth between lanes. And yeah, it looks like we're going to the regular airport. There's two different places here. There's another smaller air terminal for the private planes that come in. And this is where a lot of the SpaceX and Elon Musk's plane lands, here at the Brownsville Airport. So we're coming up to this. We have both of these lanes are right-hand turn lanes. The car is staying in the outer lane, which is good, but it's stopping way too far back. And it swings out a little bit. And that's kind of nervous when it does a quick left and a right. I don't know why it does that. left turn. And it's going to wait for the light to turn green. And we have a green arrow. Car is going, it sees everything just fine. Got a person walking their dog here. It does see the person. It'd be nice if it would show the dog on the screen too. But need to put my mask on. Still mandatory for Uber. The driver has to wear a mask. The customers are supposed to wear a mask too, but I don't really force it if they don't want to. Like I say, I'm coming up here. If someone wants to put in the chat that I may have to pause the stream for a few minutes, I think however long it's going to be to drop these people off at their destination. I'm coming to a four-way stop here. It's looking for it to be clear. It knows it's its turn. It's taking its sweet time. Okay, I'm going to push it through. I did put it on chill, so it's a little, it has a tendency of being a little more cautious there. And let's see here. Coming up to here. And like I say, map issues is a lot of the problems that I see. Even coming up here on this road, it has changed. It has been paved. It's now just a straight into the airport, but the car map still has that there used to be a stop sign here. So it kind of wants to come to a stop here. So I have to disengage and try to push it through because there's no longer a stop sign here. And also, you know, if you look on the map here, I'm driving in a field. So the road has changed. The map is not right, so it gets kind of confused. Uber's map is right now, which is surprising. So I am getting ready to pull up here. So once I come to a stop where these people may be, I am going to pause it. I think they're over here. Let me see. Are they on the outside or the inside? I'm thinking they're over here. Oh, that might be her there. Okay. Okay. And let me pause this here. Oops. I'm gonna pause. So I'm sorry I lost all your chats. I'll have to look on there. Just got through dropping off that person. And I have another pickup here. Going to pick them up. So still haven't had time to read y'all's questions, but we are driving live here while driving Uber. As the car tries to figure out a way around here to get out of this apartment complex. Currently I'm driving until we get out, since we have a gate here. And I'm not sure if the camera sees the gates. Nothing shows up here, so I don't want to risk turning on, letting it ram the gate. It is having some issues seeing some of the speed bumps around here, so I'm having to disable it, the speed bumps. We got it re-enabled. We're coming up on a speed bump here, and it's accelerating, so I am disabling, overriding it. It does see the lump there. I'm not sure if it would have slowed down or not. I just don't want to go flying. I don't want to go be banging, banging my head on a metal roof is not so bad. I worry about banging my head in a glass roof on a big bounce. This is kind of why I drove to Brownsville, because it's a little more active here. That was another $8 for that ride, so not much money. Maybe they might tip later. I don't know. I don't expect it. I don't demand tips or what have you. A lot of the rides in the cities you don't get paid anywhere near as much. If you were riding, down in places like the island where people vacation, they tend to tip a little more frequently and often. So that's kind of why some people come from out of town just to sit there. Because honestly, sometimes you can make more money on one ride that's short on the island more than you would make on 4 rides outside. This next one is, a nice little, it slowed for that. Okay. That was a little pothole there. It actually slowed down for it. At least I think it was slowing down for the pothole. A little braking there, but that car was making that turn, so it was still seen as a threat from the angle that it would be coming into our lane. And then once he completed his turn, it stopped braking. And we're waiting on traffic here. We now have green. So it was doing good waiting on the traffic. I could see the traffic coming in a distance. So I think next person I pick up, I'm not going to pause. I'm going to just let it keep streaming. Let me double check the audio. Audio is okay. That's line in. So yeah, y'all should be able to hear me okay. It looks like I'm still streaming. I do have some dropped packets, but that could be the area I'm in right now. So hopefully that would improve. When you're mobile and driving around, you can't be sure your data connection is going to be stable all the time. So I do kind of worry sometimes, and I kind of want to take over. I panic a little, but after having damage to this car and all the time it's spent in the shop, I don't want to risk an accident. But I got to get more comfortable driving, or letting the car do the driving and what have you, and just hope there won't be another accident. A lot of different style houses out here. Some kind of ran down, some old trailers and stuff. It's a unique town. But as we're at a stoplight here. I wonder if I can pull up on YouTube here. Okay, yeah, I got audio. Everything seems to be going good. Oh, thank you for the super chat there, Gary. Appreciating. YouTube does take quite a bit of the super chats, so in some of my other videos, even in this one, there should be some links to my, Cash App and what have you. PayPal. PayPal takes a small percentage, but not like YouTube does. I've been able to get money off of monetization commercials and stuff like that for a few months now, but I've yet to see any of that money because it has to be at least $100 before you can withdraw. So it's still waiting to get to that point. It'd be nice to be able to get my channel way up there and get a lot of viewers. So a like and subscribe would help. If I can get a lot of viewers, a lot of people liking, a lot of people subscribing, the more viewers, the more money I can make off of the commercials, the residual. I'm not going to sit here and beg for y'all to super chat and pay my bills. But if I can get enough viewers to be able to pay my bills, then I can actually spend a lot more time over at SpaceX filming and not having to do this, driving Uber just to make ends meet. It should get all the way over. I don't know why it's not getting in the turn lane. But that is Texas. We have these bike lanes that become turn lanes. They're solid white lines. So in most states, no, you can't cross a solid right line. So it's kind of one of those edge cases. In Texas, they use that quite a bit. So anytime you're turning right, you get into that lane. As you can see over here, the white line that's solid. There are the bike signals, so it's technically not a lane to be driving in, but here in Texas, another person around the corner here. And it comes up pretty quickly on these turns. So I'm going to disable here because we've got a guy behind me that's not patient. 2792. Let me see where 2792 is. And he should be around here somewhere, so I'm going to make a circle here. Trying to see the house numbers. Oh, there he is. Okay. Now. Okay.
What? Oh, thank you so
You're welcome.
much. That confused the heck out of me. Hello, sir.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm pretty good. I'm actually streaming on YouTube. Do you mind if I keep streaming?
Yeah,
or?
I'm okay with it. Don't worry about it.
Okay, no problem. If I can get this to start here. I have the full self-driving beta software on the car, so.
Oh, that's cool. Really?
Yeah, so I got people online watching how the car does the driving.
Oh, okay. So it's self-driving itself?
Yeah, the full self-driving beta software is still in beta version, but the car pretty much handles everything itself. It gets a little wonky every now and then.
Oh, okay. That's
But
cool.
so I still have to keep my hands on the wheel and pay attention and take over if needed. Yeah, it's like right now it's coming up to the light here, and it's going to creep forward and make sure no traffic's coming. And it sees those vehicles coming, so it's going to stop and wait.
So you're not touching the wheel?
Well, I'm touching the wheel to give resistance, but I'm not steering. And I'm not touching the brake or the accelerator. And the car is looking, it sees it's clear, so it's going to go.
That is awesome. What the heck? Can I take a video real quick?
Oh yeah.
Yeah? Just making sure.
No problem. No, that's fine. I mean, like I said, I'm right now I'm live streaming on YouTube. My YouTube channel is Mars Embassy.
Okay.
I mainly cover what SpaceX is doing in Boca Chica.
You what?
I'm mainly covering what SpaceX is doing down in Boca Chica.
Oh, okay.
All the launches they've done and stuff. So when it's slow, I just drive Uber to make some extra money.
And how does it detect all these things around it?
Well, it has 8 cameras all around watching everything it sees. So it's using those cameras to figure out what everything is. It's going to want to make a right turn up here, so it's slowing down. It sees the lights red too, so it's going to brake for that anyway. You know, it doesn't like to get into the bike lane. Everybody down here gets into the bike lane to make right turns.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Are you from here?
I'm originally from Richmond, Virginia, but I've been living in Louisiana for 22 years.
Okay, that's cool.
Came out here October of last year, 2020, for 3 days, and I just haven't left yet. Now the car's going to go ahead and go and make its turn.
What's your YouTube channel again?
Mars Embassy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a small channel. Hopefully I can get it to grow and get more viewers. I've watched all the launches back in the first one back in December 9th, and then January, February, March, and April.
That's cool. I've always wanted a Tesla, but you know, I don't know if I'd ever get one.
Well, they're not that expensive. A lot of people think this is a very expensive car. It's only $42,000 for this one here. But it's using the 8 cameras all around, so it sees everything that's going on, all the traffic, all the vehicles, what it can identify.
And how long does it drive itself for as long as it's on?
Oh yeah, yeah. For me, I have a 220-mile range on a full charge. So when I hit the supercharged, I usually spend 15 to 20 minutes, and I'm up to about 80%. I'm on my way. So to drive from Opelousas, Louisiana to here, which is a 12-hour drive for me, only cost me about $14. Mm-hmm. So it's very inexpensive to drive for one.
So do you use like the superchargers and stuff that are here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I don't think many people use them, but I guess
they do. They're just not. They're not sitting there for hours. So they go and hit them and they leave.
I get it.
And there's also supercharge on the island. Plus the hotel I stay at there has destination chargers. So I plug into those at night and charge up overnight. And those are free to use, but they charge slower. When I'm home, I have my own charger at home that I plug into in the evening.
I saw on your profile that can you actually speak fluent Chinese?
Not fluent. 我说的不好. 你会说不多一点. You know, which is, I don't speak it well. I speak a little bit of Chinese.
That's cool. That's cool.
My girlfriend's Chinese, so.
Oh, okay. I can see why you.
Yeah. Yeah, she doesn't speak any English, so a lot of times I'm sitting there, well, booming by ni shema, which means I don't understand what you're saying. And 90% of the time she'll repeat exactly what she said before. I'm like, I still don't know English,
yeah,
babe.
If I didn't understand the first time, I'm not going to understand the second time.
Yeah, it's like, English, babe. It was kind of braking for that car because its direction might have brought it into our lane.
Have you ever had like a problem with it where it did something wrong?
A couple of times, just slight problems. For one, it doesn't like to slow down quickly.
Okay.
So whenever you have a speed zone, it wants to coast. And the police don't like that. When the speed limit's 45, they want you at that when you get that sign, not a couple hundred yards past.
Okay, I get that.
And there was a couple of times it felt like it wanted to run a red light.
Wait, it is a beta.
Yeah. It's like I went and overrode it really quick, but I don't know if it was just kind of creeping up a little more or if it was going to go.
So do you like manually put where you want to go and then it just takes you? Is that how that works?
Yeah, I can send the address to the car and it will head to that address. Or if I don't have an address in there, I just engage it and see where it takes me. Sometimes it's kind of fun that time because sometimes I've had to just decide it's going to make a right turn here. But do you watch a lot of YouTube channels?
I used to watch YouTube a lot. I don't really watch it as much anymore.
Okay.
I'm more into gaming, so I watch a lot of Twitch and stuff.
Okay.
I don't know if you know what that
Oh yeah, I know
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
I used to do a lot of multi-boxing online
Really? That's cool.
of a game called EVE Online, which is a massive MMO space-based game.
So at this point, I don't really watch much YouTube, just more Twitch, maybe Netflix and stuff.
Okay.
But I'm more into gaming, so I don't really touch YouTube as much.
Yeah, I used to be quite a bit into gaming.
Yeah.
Then a couple bad incidents in the past.
Oh, what would you play?
Well, it was called EVE Online.
EVE Online?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard of that. It's a very complex space-based game. Has a real economy. I actually got to the point where I was running 150 accounts on there.
Oh wow.
Massive multi-boxing. But there was a guy who actually got on there that I would compete against in the game. He got on stage at FanFest in Iceland, where the game's manufactured at.
Yeah.
And he put out there about me going through a divorce, and I was probably depressed. So he encouraged people to do whatever they could to get me to commit suicide.
Oh, what the heck?
Yeah, and for the longest time, my phone was just blowing up with crank calls, thanks to him.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
Sorry that happened.
Yeah. Oh, it can be dark. I mean, you play games, you know how it is.
Yeah, I know how.
You get some people like that, and you would think, okay, some kids are like that. And this guy is like 34 years old and a retired lawyer, and it's just like that was kind of funky.
And if it does something wrong, can you immediately take over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm doing right now, because it was kind of taking that.
I'm sorry that happened to you.
Oh, that's okay.
I usually play FPS games, first-person shooters.
Okay.
I also really enjoy open-world games.
Okay.
Like my favorite game is Fallout.
Fallout. Okay.
I
Yeah.
have
I played
probably
Fallout.
thousands of hours on it.
Yeah, I played Fallout, Counter-Strike.
Yeah. Why does it do those yellow things? Those yellow marks?
Well, those are the sensors as far as distance.
Oh, okay.
The ultrasonic sensors on there. And you're going to Chili's.
Yes, I work there.
Okay. Front entrance?
Through the side.
Okay.
That's,
Gotcha.
it's,
That's kind of figuring the side or the back.
yeah, the back, the side. I don't know. Okay, well, thank you so much, sir.
And just push out on the door while pushing that top button. There you go.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, it does it automatically.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir.
Have a nice
Have a
day.
great day.
All right. Okay, that was another one. Now I'm picking up someone at the port of entry in Brownsville. This one's always kind of fun. I'm not sure, that was kind of funky under the bridge there where I had to take over. I can kind of understand why, because the lane was kind of wider than it should be. So it got confusing for the car, and being under the bridge with all those shadows, I'm sure didn't help. Okay, it's not connecting right. If I can get it to send the address, it'd be nice. Oh, there we go, finally got it. Yeah. Took a few seconds. And then it didn't want to re-engage the autopilot for some reason, except when I was slowing down. So I'm not sure. It is beta, still testing. So Here we are going on to our third pickup now. Anybody who is still watching, thank you very much. The sun's in my eye, I can't see. For me, it's hard when the sun gets in your eye and you get blinded, because then it's hard when you look away, you're seeing sunspots. At least the cameras on the car did not have the problem with sunspots. I would hope that the cameras that Tesla is using are very and I'm drawing a blank on the word I want to use. Resilient? No, not resilient. I don't know. What I mean is, I hope it doesn't get damaged, and that if someone shines a laser into it, I hope it doesn't burn the sensor. Hardened. Oh, man, this traffic is pretty heavy here. I know if the Tesla, I can jump out without an issue, get up to speed in front of these cars, but I don't like doing that, because other people don't find that being very kind. But I'm looking for a gap here right after this Jeep, and I can get into this lane and then try to work over. Make sure nobody else. I'm gonna go ahead and re-engage the full self-driving to 10.5. Yeah, we're still live streaming. Audio should still be good. I did put new batteries in the mic, so that should be good. Slow down. See, I'm scrolling it down to 45 to get it to slow down, but it's not slowing down rapidly, it's just coasting. I don't like that. Okay, we have another U-turn under this pass here. And I don't know why it was, well, I decided I wanted to go on the outside, which was dumb. I should use the inside U-turn here, but it's wider than most lanes and does get confused in the car. So I disengaged on that, but re-engaging here now. It is still in beta. It has a long way to go. Well, not a long way. It's doing very good. And seeing how some people drive around here, it's doing better than most of these people driving on the road. I don't have a passenger now, so I can take off the mask and breathe again. Now, whenever a car is blue, I think that's, I don't think it means that they have the right of way. I think it means that they are in my path of traffic and might be a potential hazard. Because I see that sometimes when someone's kind of crossing over, or if they're coming towards my lane, the car will be jumping up the speed here. As we get back onto this little interstate here, the switching between the full self-driving stack and the interstate stack is pretty smooth now. I understand in the past people have had issues with that, but it does seem to be a lot more smoother. And I need to check what that text was. Okay. Sorry, I have to apply that text. I need to go back at SpaceX at 6:30. So I can do a little bit more driving for a while. And I got to go pick someone up at SpaceX. I do know guys who work at SpaceX, and I can't really talk about stuff that they talk about or stuff that I overhear. So when they're in the car and I'm driving like a chauffeur, I kind of mind my own business. It's kind of funny to be able to detach like that. When I was in the Coast Guard, because I knew how to use computers, they gave me a top secret clearance. And it was funny when they would hand me something to send out on a teletype and they tell me to send that but don't read it. And I was shocked that I was able to do that. I just concentrated on every solitary little letter in space and never put the words together in my mind. So I was able to send, I think it was like 15 pages without reading a single word of it. It's funny how we can do that if we put our minds to it, or if we detach our minds to what we're doing and do that. The human brain is interesting. You know, I've always had a spelling issue, not very good at spelling. But the guys in the Coast Guard found out that if they get me drunk, my spelling actually improves. Which is kind of wild. Now we're coming up here to the border of Mexico. So it is now 5 o'clock. I have to be back at Starbase at 6:30, so I have to be careful on any other rides I accept after this ride to be able to have time to get to SpaceX. Pretty sure that Felix is off on his way back to Germany. It was very nice meeting him down there at Rocket Ranch. And this car needs to get over. Come on, figure it out. And it's going to miss the turn because of that truck. Okay, I'm aborting it and I'm forcing it over. That's a kind of a short distance to try to get off of that interstate and onto this main road. Okay. When you drive in the Brownsville area, you do get a lot of these runs to the border crossing. People come across here to work, back and forth, or they may be coming across to visit family. So we're heading to pick up a gentleman here at the border. And right now I can't really look at the stoplight because the sun's in my eye, so I'm having to tilt my head, but at least the computer can see and I can't, so that's a plus. Also at nighttime, when I have a hard time seeing at night, the car does a lot better job than I do. I think the car will come in handy. I had someone else who was really impressed with this. They're not able to drive themselves because they have tics and seizures. So they would love to see this full self-driving. That'll give them some of their own mobility, be able to own their own car and not have to worry about, you know, situation if they were driving and all of a sudden have a seizure, that the car can handle it. That's where they would have to have the full self-driving completely hands-off, because you don't want to have your hands on the steering wheel taking over the car in the middle of a seizure. That would definitely not be safe. or for someone who's blind, that'll be another nice feature that they can be able to get around. And giving people more mobility that have lost it for whatever reason. Now I might have to pause the live stream here again. Probably not. I'll probably keep it running so I don't run into another issue. I'm just turning it off right now and taking over. So as I look for this person here, oh, there he is over here. He has some bags, so let me load the bags up. Victor, hold on. Victor? Yes, sir. How you doing? I'm doing pretty good. How are you? I'm doing good. I'm currently streaming my drive on YouTube right now. Do you mind if I streaming on YouTube? Okay. Push the big part, small part comes out. There we go. Sorry. Very good. Yeah, I actually have the full self-driving beta software on my Tesla, so that's why I'm kind of streaming it.
Oh, okay. Good, good.
So we're watching how the car makes crazy little errors every now and then. But most of the time it does extremely wonderful.
That's pretty good?
Oh yeah, it's shockingly good, especially when I'm driving into the sun. It's nice having the car seen where I can't see.
Yeah.
And this construction area, last time I was here, it had a little issues with, but let's see what happens this time. Because these are new, aren't they?
I'm not really sure. I'm over here for work, so.
Oh, okay. And I think seeing this lane, that's good. Okay. Seeing the yield sign, so it's going to creep ahead. And the one thing I do hate about this area is some of these dips. I mean, look at this. I mean, there is just no way I won't turn this off, because if it tries to go way too fast, it will bottom out.
Oh yeah, it will.
You can see the marks in that road.
Right.
And I think even in my Tahoe, it would bottom out on some of those.
Yeah, I've been working out here for probably a year and a half already.
Okay.
I come from Houston. I usually always drive my vehicle back and forward.
Mm-hmm.
This time I said, let me take the bus. Let's see how that goes. Next time I'm driving.
You're driving. You need to get a Tesla, let it do the driving.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do for a living?
I'm a welder for offshore.
Offshore, okay.
Yeah, for the oil rigs.
There's a bunch of oil rigs offshore. It looks like they're kind of anchored offshore.
Mm-hmm.
Are they coming in, or do you know?
Where at?
Off of, I stay on South Padre Island, so I see them south.
Oh, so no, if there's any of them coming in,
yeah,
they might be just there until they get a contract.
Gotcha. Because they don't look like they're anchored, because you see the poles.
Yeah. So yeah, they're probably waiting for a contract to hit them.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll usually come in closer to shore whenever they don't have a contract, because it's cheaper for them to get a crew out there, and because they always got to do a 21 day on, 21 day off.
Yeah.
So it's cheaper for them to have a crew closer to land.
Yeah. I used to work for a company called PSC, Phillips Service Corporation.
Oh, okay.
And they did oil field cleanup and stuff, and I was a network admin, so I didn't do the hard work. I just sat back and pushed buttons. you know, I just kept everything going. But I've been offshore some of the platforms before to work on a computer out there. What SpaceX was doing.
Right.
And I haven't left yet.
Yeah.
So I've been renewing the hotel over and over again.
Oh, okay.
And just let you know, I haven't been driving. That was the car making all the turns.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's what I'm kind of streaming is just how well this is doing. It's handling everything. It sees the speed limit. It's going to change, so it's speeding up to get ready to merge in the traffic up here. And it wanted to be careful in there. Not sure what it was yelling about. But it probably got temporarily blinded by the sun coming up there.
Right.
But it uses the 8 cameras all around,
Oh, okay.
so it's seeing everything.
Everything.
There we go. Those are 3 of the cameras there. So it's seeing everything around,
Nice, nice.
and that's what the cameras are figuring out where everything is, working it out. But no, I've been down there a little over a year now, watching SpaceX and driving around.
Oh, okay.
Normally handle a bunch of different networks and stuff back in Louisiana, but kind of enjoying driving the Uber. It's kind of nice.
Right.
I like being in the Tesla. I put way too many miles on this, and it gives me a lot of freedom that whenever SpaceX does do something, I can just not do anything and just sit there and try to film it.
Yeah, that's a good thing about Uber driving, you know? You got your own schedule.
Yeah. But it can be kind of slow. A lot of times that place there, whenever I come into town, I'm like, oh, do I want to pick someone up there or not? Because a lot of them don't speak English and I don't speak Spanish.
Right.
So I speak a little Chinese but no Spanish.
That's it. Chinese. So how you learn Chinese?
Very difficultly, as a necessity. The girlfriend doesn't speak English, so
okay.
she's Chinese, and
So is she learning any English?
she is trying to, but it's too hard for her.
Too hard.
I mean, Chinese language is a tonal language. They have 4 official tones, technically 5. No tone is considered a tone. So a lot of words like my, they sound the same to us, but there's a slight tone difference. One means to buy, one means to sell. You got her, one is and one is water. So when she learns a word like banana, she can learn it. But then if I say banana, the tone changed to her mind, that's a different word. You know, growing up in China, she is locked in and finding those tones. And
My wife's actually from the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I thought I was going to have trouble with her. And no, she learned pretty good English pretty quick.
Yeah, some do, you know, some don't, you know, some just...
I met my wife 8 years ago, and probably it took 4 years to start getting into the English, you know, a little bit.
Yeah.
And now she's doing better.
Yeah, I keep bugging her to try to learn English. And the problem is she still has access to all of her news channels and stuff in Chinese. So, you know, it keeps resorting.
English.
Yeah, that's what everybody keeps telling her. Because a lot of stuff she watches is still all CCP. Motorcycle. If you're on a motorcycle, you got to worry about everybody else in the road.
Right.
So many people just don't look at a motorcycle. I have been actually ran off the road a few times.
Really?
While I was on a motorcycle.
Oh, okay. Yeah, usually we do a lot of traveling from home in Louisiana.
Home in Louisiana? Oh yeah. I always hated going down there. I mean, it's kind of nice, but there's nothing down there.
No, there's nothing there.
The place I really hate was Fushan.
Fushan, oh, that's a good little ways.
Oh yeah, it's a long way and nothing there. But I came out here last year, and I don't know, I really like it out here. I feel comfortable out here. People are nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been out here a year and a half already. Working in the shipyard right here in Bronzeville.
Okay. Yeah, I actually was trying to watch one of the launches. I think it was in March. And it was delayed. And we just see this ship coming into the bay, or coming in through the jetties there. And it was the aircraft carrier.
Oh, the aircraft carrier.
Yeah, that's being scrapped.
Yeah.
So I had to make a little video on that. And interesting, everything that aircraft's been through, and for it to be going there,
Yeah.
to be scrapped after so long.
Yeah, right now probably they already took off probably quarter of that ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, and supposedly in the shipyard they have Deimos, the oil rig that Elon Musk has purchased.
Oh yeah, it's out there. We're
Yeah.
actually working right next to it.
But I don't think they've done anything to that.
No, they haven't.
I mean, I keep hearing people saying, "Oh no, they're working on their cranes on." I'm like, no, nothing's changed.
No, actually,
It's
there
just
are
sitting there.
people from SpaceX that do walk up to it, but they just go walking for probably an hour, hour and a half, and then they get back off.
Yeah, they're probably trying to figure out, what are we going to do with this? It's like Elon bought a big erector set for us to play with, and we don't know what to do with it.
We don't know what to do. Yeah, but SpaceX, since last year, it's been growing a lot.
Oh,
They've
yeah.
been doing a lot of changes to it.
Yeah, I was looking at some of the pictures I took last October compared to this year, and it's like, my God, it's not the same place.
Oh, it's not. It's not.
It's grown so much. Even the new wide bay that they're building there is going up so quickly.
Yeah.
Not as fast as a building in China. You know, I saw a video the other day that was sent to me that they built a 37-story apartment building in China in 2 days.
Really?
But I mean, it's more like Legos.
Like
Yeah, everything was sent in modules, the walls and stuff, and they just kind of connected in. So it went very fast. And the girlfriend gives me a hard time with that. There's in Opelousas, there's one little bridge about that big that is blocked off, so you got to drive a couple miles to go around.
Right.
They're replacing the bridge, and it's been 2 years now, and they're still working on it. And every time we go by it, she kind of hits me and points at it. It says, "China, hospital, 5 days." I'm like, yeah. Little bridge, 2 years,
Yeah.
still not getting done.
Still not. It's like the ship we're doing. We're on the second ship right now, but we're doing the LNG gas piping on it. But this is a new ship that the United States is making that is going to run with LNG. I think there was another country that had made one too. Then the United States wanted to do one here in-house.
Okay.
So that's where we're actually working here in Brownsville, that LNG.
And if anybody's listening, LNG is liquid natural gas.
Right.
Just in case y'all wondering. Oh, and it's going to miss that. So, yeah. Well, it looked like it was going to miss it. I might have caught it right at the last second, but I will go ahead and overdo that.
Hello? Yeah, me vine para la casa.
Engagement there.
Where are you at? By the time you cross the bridge, I would have died of hunger right there. Yeah. All right, let me call you back. All right. This is your daughter's number or what? Where's your number? Where's your phone? No, hombre, eso no te lo va a curar. Bring it. Acá te lo pago. Ah, ok, pues si tú lo traes aquí, te esperamos entonces. Alright.
It's surprising how well this does on roads with no line markings
Yeah.
and traffic all around.
How much one of these are going for?
This one here, I actually paid $42,000 for.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And that was delivered to my door. Okay, how's it going to handle this? It's going to try, okay, it sees this car is letting us through. And that was all the car.
Yeah. That was pretty good.
Kind of makes me nervous on those, but it actually does a lot better than I thought it would.
How is it at the speed bump?
It slowed down some.
Slow down.
I would like to have gone a little bit slower, like 17 miles per hour, but
I also see the dog, huh?
yeah, I did see the doggy. It had something there for the doggy. And you what, right?
Right here.
Okay.
We could pull up right here if you want.
Oh, sorry, hit the park. There we go. And just push the top button and push out at the same time. Yeah, that's right, push out at the same time. Always. Okay. And we'll drop him off. That gives me an hour to get to the launch control. So, navigate to SpaceX Launch Control Center. So yeah, we'll get there with 30 minutes to spare. I don't want to try to take another ride because that can always be troublesome. You get dinged when you reject rides, and if it's a long ride, I don't like to reject them, but we don't know where people are going. So yeah, that got me up to $31 today. Well, I wouldn't say it's a secret life. There are a few YouTube channels with Uber drivers, nightmare customers. Also on TikTok, I've seen some pretty hilarious ones. So yeah, the car is seeing the dogs. They kind of move away from one of the dogs back there. It does like to hit these speed bumps a little faster than I like. But not too bad, and it was pretty impressive. I only had one disengagement back there when it was almost blowing past that sign. So I'm going to keep streaming as we head to SpaceX Launch Control Facility to pick up my friend. And then, of course, once I get there and once I pick him up, I'll probably lose contact before I get there. They are building a new tower out there for AT&T, so I might not. I don't know if the tower is online yet, but we'll find out. Again, I was out there earlier. I can take my mask off. I have no customer, so I take my mask off so I can breathe. I was out there earlier this morning and went by Rocket Ranch, and I met Felix of What About It. Him and his family was there. Got a few autographed pictures from him. It was really nice that he had. Picked up some for a couple of the guys I know work at SpaceX who really would like to have met him, but they didn't have time. SpaceX doesn't take breaks. I'm hoping he was able to get a card to Elon. And car is making that turn. That's a pretty sharp turn. And did a pretty good job on that. Here we are coming to another speed hump. I have it set down at 21. I would like to see it slow down more. And it's going down to 19, 18, 17, 16. So it does the speed bump 16 miles per hour. That's good. So I'm going to bump it up here to about 25 as we come up to another speed bump. Let's see if it will do the same. I don't like to bottom out this car. It is slowing down for the speed bump. This is good. 18, 17. Yeah, so it's doing good on the speed bumps. I bottomed out the car on one of the dips down in Brownsville, and it kind of ripped the retaining retaining clips and sheared off the screws that hold part of the panel underneath. And I had to replace that. That was $200. Well, it came to $300 because they had to really do a little more work to get the bolts out and stuff, and spent more time doing that because of the way they got sheared off. And I'm going to disengage right now. I'm sure the car would have gotten it, but sometimes I want to go ahead and take over. And I go and re-engage. But yeah, so that was kind of costly. I had to replace that panel months ago too when we had all that high water. And as that car goes off the road, he's not in a Tesla. But yeah, driving through the high water, water is heavy, and water makes Grand Canyons. It carves through stone. So water can do a lot of damage easily. Okay, we're on a road here. There is no line in the middle. There's no lines on the side. The speed limit is 30. I have it at 35, going up to 40. But the car is still only doing 28. I guess it's doing that because it doesn't see any lines. It saw the speed limit sign, so it knows for a fact what the speed is. But it's still limiting itself because of the lack of lines in the road. Which I can understand, because then he has to figure out, like this oncoming vehicle, it needs to figure out how far over it needs to get on this little bridge here. So I can understand that. The people behind me may not, but that's where they can look at the bumper sticker from Dr. Know-It-All that says AI in training, student driver. So that way they will not panic as much. And over here, it's kind of working its way over. It could get a little further, but it's hard to tell, if it can actually see where the edge of the pavement is and the grass, and you don't know if there might be a steep ditch there or not. Okay, we're coming up to a stop sign here, and a traffic signal, and it's creeping forward, and it is turning. So we're coming up. So far, a lot of the people I've had, the few rides I had, I went from $9 to $31. It hasn't been too good of a day. And with me planning to do a live stream tomorrow, it's going to be kind of, less money. But hopefully what SpaceX has going on tomorrow doesn't get pushed back another day or two. Multiple days of trying to live stream something that doesn't happen, I lose too much money. And when I want to do the live stream, I have to be in the area. So if I'm on the island taking Uber rides, I never know when I might have someone going up to the airport in McAllen, which is an hour and a half away, a 3-hour round trip, which means I would not be able to get set up and do a live stream quickly. So hopefully, you know, if they do something, it's not going to be during when I'm driving someone to work over there. Hopefully I can get the person to work and get back in time to be able to set up everything to capture whatever's going to go on. See, the light just turned green, so it's going. And now it's switching to a night mode as the sun starts to go down. What I need to do, I need to put some music that James has written for me on my phone and stream that as background music while driving. I know there's a lot of people that do the full self-driving videos, and they upload them. I don't think there's very many that have done a live stream like I am of the full self-driving. I would like to eventually get around to tapping into the monitor and to be able to do that like a picture-in-picture instead of having, you know, look at the screen itself, to actually have a better quality of the screen itself going straight into the device. I think that would be kind of nice, especially when I'm trying to pay off the credit cards from all the months that my car has been down. Tomorrow I have to pay for the hotel room for another month here. I could just forget about it and pack everything up and go back home in Louisiana and be 12 plus hours away from here. Honestly, there's more money here, even when it is slow. Sometimes I don't know if it's a good call for me to, you know, try to make it out here. If the income was steady, I could probably afford to rent a place or buy a place. I don't need much. I'm not looking at buying an expensive place. I can find some place an hour away from SpaceX for about $18,000 to own. And of course, it's only a single wide trailer, and it's in a trailer lot. And I'm looking at maybe a couple $100 a month for lot rental. But to have your own home where you can put your stuff up and not have to waste monthly money on a hotel would be nice. The advantage of the hotel, though, is that's where I have my other cameras mounted on my other live stream. I could probably work a deal out with the location to keep something set up somewhere. Maybe not in a room. I have to figure something else out to be able to cover and be able to stream from. But that would not be easy. I do want to go ahead and get the Starlink. To be able to stream with that would be nice. But it's things I have to pay for first. I do have a nice professional grade camera that does great. Incredible amount of frames per second. Well, not incredible amount of frames per second, but a very decent frames per second sustained for as long as I hold the button. So it's not like shooting a bunch of frames per second only for 3 seconds. No, it can do it for several minutes nonstop until the card is full with no buffering. And that's good. Now this is the car handling that four-way just fine. A little hesitant there. And it's going to brake to let this truck get in front. As it saw the lanes merging. So that was good, and not overly braking. Nice subtle braking. I am seeing a 5G connection on my phone, so I think maybe the new tower is up. So we are still streaming. My audio should still be 5x5. Again, I can't really look at the chats while driving, so I don't know what y'all are saying. But when I come to a stoplight, I'll try to pull it up on YouTube and see. Maybe I can answer some questions. It's funny how, you know, I've been waiting for a red light, but I haven't ran into that many red lights, really. So it's been running quite smoothly. But it's also good to be able to live stream the full self-driving, so y'all get a real feel of what it's like on the journey, and you don't, at least you don't have me cutting out things I don't want you to see. So if you see me picking my nose, I'm sorry. It has to be done sometimes. But yeah, that's the worst thing about being an old man. We got these long hairs in our ear and sometimes the long hairs in our nose, and they can really get to tickling at times, and we just got to get that hair pulled out or trimmed. So yeah, I'm not afraid to talk about anything like that. It's, you know, but like I say, when I was at Rocket Ranch, you know, got to meet Felix there and the guys who run Rocket Ranch. If y'all looking for an interesting place to say all about SpaceX, I recommend Rocket Ranch. Their rates are not overly priced. You know, for what you're getting there, it's equivalent to what, you know, you would pay for a hotel room, but yet you're right there near SpaceX. And you probably pay less than what you pay on some hotel rooms on the island. Okay, we're coming to a stop here, so let me see if I can pull up YouTube here and see what all. And again, thank you, Gary, for the $10 super chat. Clay, is there anything going on at SpaceX tonight? Nothing going on tonight. I have friends that work at SpaceX, and they pay me to drive them back and forth to and from work. So I'm going to pick one of them up to take them back. Do I think the Tesla's worth it? Definitely. The initial cost, it only cost me $42,000. A brand new car would run you about that. And when you buy a Tesla, what they advertise the price online for is what you pay for. There is no dealership markups. There are no dealerships for Tesla. There's showrooms. Their pricing is firm. And as this makes no oil changes, no tune-ups, no radiator flushes. As far as expensive repairs, I don't really see that expensive repair. The repairs were expensive, but the insurance covered them from accidents. Now, the first one took 4 months, but it was all because of a lot of situations. It is not because, oh, Tesla has a part shortage issue. That was not my issue. There was a few things that were delayed in shipping. The first body shop that got my Tesla took parts from my car to fix somebody else's. So the shop had to figure out what to do. You know, the shop that finally did the work on it had to figure out what to do about those, who's going to pay for those, because they weren't part of the original accident. But that accident also happened a week before the ice storm hit Texas. So I got hit on a Monday, February 8th, the day before my birthday. And the insurance company was trying to figure out what to do, but they needed to talk to the other person first. And they could not get a hold of that other person for an entire week. So when they finally got a hold of that person, it was right after that ice storm was hitting. So they finally responded. So the insurance started working with them. So they started to work on the process of getting my car to transport it to San Antonio. Problem is, massive ice storm, everything's locked down, nothing's going anywhere for a week. So now we're looking at almost 2 weeks until it got to a point of being 3 weeks total before it can actually get towed to San Antonio. So when it got to San Antonio, it sat there at that shop for a couple of weeks. So we're already at a month and a half almost. And that shop is telling me that it's going to take them, 4 to 8 more weeks before they can start working on an estimate. So we had it moved to a different shop. And of course that shop started to panic because they took parts from my car without telling me to fix somebody else's, and now the car is being moved. So they have no way of covering their tracks. So by the time the insurance company got through talking to the other shop nearby in Bowie, Texas, I think that's how it said, that just got Tesla certified. That took about a week, and they picked it up on a Monday and took it up there. So we're already at the 2-week or 2-month mark right there. And when it got to that shop that evening, they were ordering parts, and they were getting parts in as soon as they could. Of course, Tesla was also behind on parts at that time because of the ice storm to the south, and so many people got damaged so much. And then they had to figure out about the missing parts and who was going to pay for those parts. So yeah, that was kind of expensive total. I think it came to a total of $15,000 in the labor and everything, but mind you, a dump truck took out the entire left side of my car, so they pretty much had to replace the doors and everything. The second one, I would have had back in a week and a half. It only came to $8,000 once they finalized and figured out what they accidentally did wrong. But it was not a Tesla part supply issue. Tesla's freight issue. UPS Freight kept losing parts or damaging the parts in shipping. So they've had to reorder parts a total of 5 times for my car. So yeah, it does cause issues, and that's where I'm at. I mean, I'm out here on the edge of Mexico. Things are kind of different here. UPS freight only goes to Rio Grande City once a week. So no matter what, it can't get there overnight unless, it gets there the previous day and before they go out on Wednesday. But it's the area. I'm sure other areas, once they get better workers, and I have to say better workers. I mean, R&R Collision did their job, not to the best of my liking. There's some little issues I see, little gaps. I'm not going to complain. I need my car. I mean, I use the car to make money driving Uber. I've fallen so far behind. I can't sit there and complain about the gaps and stuff anymore. I don't have time for them to fix it. It should have been done right the first time, but I don't have time for that. I just need my car back. I need to get back to making money. I need to be able to afford my stay here. I need to pay back for all the equipment and stuff that I've dropped money into for the YouTube streaming. I don't have time to sit there and say this is not lined up right, or this doesn't look right. I don't have time to nitpick and try to get them to get it back to where it was before. I'm still happy with the car. It still performs. It still does what it needs to do. And getting the full self-driving beta just kind of made me feel a lot better. But yeah, and for me, the worst part is doing the Uber and stuff. The time that I did not have my car was during the busiest times on the island. The busiest times on the island. I didn't have my car. The times when I would have made the most money, I did not have my car. And then I finally get my car back when everything starts slowing down. You know, I should have had a whole bunch of money in the bank. I should have been, you know, comfortable by now. I should have been on my way to buying a new Tesla. Yeah, I should have been buying a lot more shares and stocks in Tesla. I'm not a tax advisor. I'm not giving tax advice. But personally, you know, I can go up because running a rental vehicle and paying gas in that just eats so patched. So I don't worry about it too much. I am keeping eyes out for wildlife. We do have wildlife that run across this road every now and then. Be it coyotes, hogs, raccoons, what have you, skunks. So we might be getting out of range of that new tower. Or it might be on an old tower and the new tower is not up and running yet. Now I have no signal on my phone, so I don't know if I'm still live streaming or not. Again, because they don't have to work and they would like to see something going on. It would be nice if SpaceX could have the weekends for testing too. But you know, as things stand now, they're pretty much restricted to weekdays only, which makes it a little more difficult for people who have to work for a living to get here and see something going on. And with no publication as far as when something's going to happen, we don't know. But I hope make doing Uber. And at, like for today, 30, I still have to pay my electric bill there, my water, my internet. The house is paid for, the property is paid for. I still can't get anybody to cut the grass, so at least I'm that's a long drive, about 12 hours there. And then I spend a few hours there and then drive back. It's hard when I don't know what's going on here at SpaceX. It's hard right now trying to eke out a living. And to take those days off, those are coming, but we do have about 30 minutes here, so I'm going to drive all the way down to the pad and hopefully I can keep if I do lose connection, at least the device does a very good job of reconnecting and keeping the stream going. So if you see any buffering issues or waiting, that's what about it was saying. They keep showing up and trying to walk onto the SpaceX property. They can shut all this down. They can build big walls so we can't see nothing. Right now, we need to be happy with being able to watch the production, watch things being Blue Origins. I think I was going to try to pass these, but we have a improvised stop sign. So here, I got a lot of drop packets. And yeah, we should be getting a better cell signal right about here. Right near Starbase is very hard to get cell signal there. But you got a lot of metal structures. And a lot of those are in the line of sight of the cell towers. So they do they tend to block the cell signal. don't know if y'all can see this. I don't know if y'all still with me or not. Well, we're coming up to the launch pad here. We got serial number 20 sitting on the pad. What's left of BN3 and BN4 is not what's left of BN4, but BN4. I saw a lot of people working on SN20 today when I was here earlier for a quick drive-by. It looked like they were kind of in the engine bay area, so I don't know. I do see some venting and stuff, standard venting and stuff on the tank farm, and I have seen some fuel being delivered to this tank farm for SN20. So I don't know. Maybe we might have a static fire tomorrow. I'm just taking a wild guess, just by looking at things here, with them working on the booster today, or not on the booster, but on the Starship today. They may be, they might have a static fire tomorrow. So that's why I'm planning to do a live stream. Maybe we might catch something. That's all we can do is watch, try to figure it out. I'm going to come down here and turn around. And let's see here. As I turn around in the sand. And right here we have the tank farm, the fuel tanks and stuff for the booster. Now, like I say, they say all these tanks here is just enough to hold for one launch. And that's it. Let's see, I have a few minutes. So let me do something here. If y'all are still with me, hold on. I'm going to grab my camera out of the front so I can try to get a little better footage for y'all while I'm here. And open the trunk and I'll be right back. Okay, now, while I'm parked here, I'm going to be doing this by hand, so it won't be as stable as with a tripod. But like I said, I'm here to pick someone up, so I don't have too much time. And let me take the lens cap off. It's always important to do that. And let me get to my device here. Use the second HDMI port on here. Now, open up live view. Oh. There we go. Live view is on. Okay, now I have my zoom lens on here. Sorry about this, but let me switch over to this camera. Okay, now we are going by hand here. Oh, it's good to hear it's still some dropouts here, but yeah. We're over here at the fuel farm here. For the Starship here. If you want to, I can zoom in here if you want. Let me hit. There we go. I can actually zoom in pretty close if y'all want. But I saw a lot of liquid nitrogen stuff being delivered here earlier. And here we have the booster. Whoops, I'm getting tied up here, so I'm trying not to knock things over. This is BN4 on the pad here. Like I say, I'm not on a tripod, I'm holding it by hand, so forgive me. I'm just trying to do a quick little live stream here. Unexpected, impromptu live stream from the pad. We got the booster here. And over here we have, I'll zoom out for this, definitely need to be zoomed out for this. The SpaceX's crane right here. It's a pretty massive crane. It goes up to quite ways. Now, these are the launch tanks. And I'm going to pull up here a little further. But let me get my seatbelt on. And let me switch back to that other camera real quick. I get my seatbelt on here and I can pull up a little bit closer to the pad while we have you here. Now, I would love to be able to do this every day. Come out here and just film for hours. Well, it is in drive. Okay. I don't know why it was saying it's not in drive when it's in drive, but hey, that's okay. We're here at the launch pad. They do work here every day, 24/7. It's non-stop at the launch pad. So there's always something going on here. And I will pull over right here in front of these employees, make sure I'm not on the traffic here. And let me try to switch over to the camera again so we can take a night view of the launch tower. We're kind of close to it here, but yeah. Here's the quick disconnect arms that they've been working on. I can zoom in on those here for you. Let's focus. Come on, you can focus. Okay. Go manual focus. Why am I not focusing? Hold on. There we go. That's the launch control arm. And over here is the quick disconnect arm. I'm trying to take a picture of that. Oh, here. Oh. It's not easy when you're holding it by hand at nighttime. Not there. Well, I'm not going to worry about a picture. I'm live streaming. Why do I need a picture, right? Impressive structure. And over here we have serial number 20. Hold on while I mess with the focus here. Go manual. Some things are harder to focus on, especially with low light. There we go. Serial number 20 is sitting on the pad. Like I said, they were working on it earlier. So I'm thinking, you know, things they were doing is probably getting ready for a static fire is my guess. And this is BN4 with all the work lights shining off of it again. I'll just zoom out here. Take that off. It's always beautiful down here. Sunrises, sunsets. I cannot tell. I could be out there taking pictures every day if I could afford it. And we have some more tanks here. These white tanks. Anybody know what they are? Please let us know. We see them at the fuel production yard too. Now, if I zoom in, I don't think we can find a hint on there. As far as any labels, I don't see any labeling as far as what they are. Maybe James might know what they are. And if we go up here, we have, this is the planet Venus. It's nice and bright this time of year. Clouds are kind of in the way. So I'm trying to hold it in, but we got Venus nice and bright, shining through the clouds. One of our neighbor planets. Okay, and switching back to the main camera here. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up a little further. I'm still in drive, so I'll pull up a little further, and we're gonna try to get some more images over here. There's somebody else with a camera set up streaming. I'm not sure what channel he's with, but we can find out if he has a channel or not. Let's see who we have over here. Whoop. Hello.
Hi.
How are you? And I'm gonna come over here. And while we were at here, let's see if we can get another view in here on the main camera. Whoop. As we kind of try to zoom in here on those Raptor engines on BN4. Down at the base there. Kind of hard to see them. You got to be very lucky to be here when they're installing them. And again, we got the serial number 20 there. There's BN3. It's still here. They still haven't torn it apart. Not sure why. But we'll go back over to this channel here. You think it's for fuel recovery? That could very well be. Let me see who this is. He has a nice little setup. How are you this evening?
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Not too bad. Your phone's light's on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm almost out of battery on that thing.
Okay. You streaming for a channel?
Yeah, I was trying out live streaming a little bit for my YouTube channel.
Which channel is that?
Starship Gazer.
Oh, Starship Gazer here. Yes, we're here at Starship Gazer, Mars Embassy.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, just doing a live stream of a drive back to Brownsville today, and
Oh, awesome.
heading back to pick up a guy at SpaceX here. So,
Oh, very cool.
but yeah, Keith with Mars Embassy.
Yeah.
Did you bump into Felix?
I did not. Yes, I heard he was out here.
Yeah.
I didn't see him.
He was over at Rocket Ranch, but he's left a few hours ago. You know, I got to meet him and gave some nice autographed
Oh, wow.
pictures and stuff.
Oh, very cool.
So yeah, he was out there. Very nice gentleman.
Yeah, he's awesome.
But he was over at Rocket Ranch
Yeah.
for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I heard about that.
He was looking for you. On his live stream, he was trying to bump into you out here.
Oh, really?
yesterday.
Yeah, I took a few days off for Thanksgiving. I cooked a big turkey and all that stuff.
Okay, yeah, I heard him on his live stream yesterday. He was hoping to bump into you when he was out here.
Oh, wow.
He did mention he did love your content
Oh, cool.
and what you're doing. So,
Oh, yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, I'll have to hit him up on Twitter or something.
yeah.
He left. He went back home already? Or-
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They were at the Rocket Ranch. They went out to do some shooting first, then to go and fly back.
Oh, cool.
Don't get to do too much shooting in Germany.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, Starship Gazer does some great videos. Y'all check them out if you have time.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah. Like I said, I've been doing a live stream since I have the full self-driving beta. We've been watching the car do the driving and stuff too.
Oh, nice.
So it's
Yeah,
been
that's pretty slick.
pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm about to head out myself, just wrapping up, packing stuff up.
Okay. But yeah, I've been catching your streams when you throw them out there.
Cool.
I do like that lens. What lens is that?
Oh, the 100 to 500, the RF, the Canon.
Okay, so you're using a Canon.
Yep.
Yeah, I got Nikon.
Sweet.
Yeah, Nikon. I keep wanting to say Minolta.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I used to shoot with in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
You just don't see them no more.
Yeah.
The camera manufacturers just kind of disappeared, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, the big three, yeah, it's like Sony, Nikon, and Canon these days.
Yeah. But anyway, just wanted to give you a shout out.
Yeah,
And
appreciate it. Very cool.
I like the Don't Panic.
Oh, yeah.
But that's from, yeah, that with the Tesla, yeah. But
Yeah, just gotta throw all this, I'm gonna take a few photos and then head home.
yeah, I mean, I keep taking photos. I have about 15 terabytes of hard drive space taken up with pictures.
Yeah, I've got a ton in storage too.
And it's like, I need to go through them one day, and I just don't have time.
Yeah, it's all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all time consuming.
And with me driving Uber all the time, I just don't have time for it.
Yeah.
But, which means I got one of the guys is getting off of work here at 6:30, so I got to drive him back to the island. So
Oh, awesome. All
go
right.
pick him up. But
Sweet.
saw you out here. But it's like the photographer's job's never done.
Yeah, yeah.
The one time you put the camera away is the one time you miss that one picture.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's so much to constantly shoot at.
Yeah, and you never know just like wildlife photography, you know, you don't know what's going to happen when.
Yeah.
I've gotten some great pictures by total mistake a few times.
Yep. Yeah, you can, just randomly.
Yeah, I was tracking a hawk one day, just filming the hawk flying, and as I'm tracking him, it's like I caught him right when he was nailing a rabbit. It's like, okay, I didn't even see the rabbit.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But you take it easy.
Yep, have a good one.
You too.
Yeah, I'll see you around.
All right. That was Starship Gazer. He's out here doing some live streams too. He's setting up to do live streams. Check out his channel when you have time. I'm going to shut down this camera here as it's getting close to time and disconnect that as we're live streaming. I know James was saying there were some dropouts, but not that many, which is good to hear. It's been kind of smooth. Let me engage the full self-driving, let it do the rest of the driving up here somewhat, at least. You don't have to have a destination set in to use the full self-driving, but it helps. I find that if you don't have a destination, sometimes it will just randomly decide it's going to turn somewhere. I do think it would be kind of fun if Tesla would add little features in there, like show me something, and have the car take us somewhere, an interesting landmark or something. as we're driving back, hopefully I still got a good connection because we're coming back to Starbase in a different direction. They got the booster SN5 fully stacked in the high bay. The wide high bay is coming along nicely. It's being built out pretty fast. It's going up quickly, so that would be interesting to see. Can't wait for them to finish it. And right now I'm getting the message that the full self-driving is degraded. That's because it is dark outside and we're out in grassy, sandy area, so it can't really see the sides of the road. So in this area, quite often it's degraded. It still does good, but it can't figure out where the edges of the road are too well. There are no street lights or anything here. James believes those big white containers on the sides are for fuel recovery, for when they detank the ship to store it, so they don't waste the fuel. That's a good possibility. I can see that. They don't seem like they're there to hold anything for long periods of time. There's no insulation around it. So I can see, yeah, you pump the fuel out to that and then would make sense and would be plausible. I'm not sure which tanks are for water. I would not think them laying that way would be for water because you would not have that much pressure. So yeah, here we go. And I'm going to switch over here. We're going to get a good view of the yard here. Zoom in on a few things. And we're all going by hand here. Let me see if I can get the high bay here. I'm shooting through the windshield, so it's not what I usually prefer to do. Well, there's the edge of BN5. We have Starbase over here. But yeah, they're always working. The shifts are changing. Only one for H2O, for water. I would kind of expect more than one, but I guess they can probably do with one. Let's see. I'm going to switch back over to this view here. And like I say, I'm right across from the production yard, and the network signal is always bad here. So I want to apologize for that. And while I'm parked here, I'm going to put my camera back up. Take the microphone off here real quick, make sure I'm not tangled with that. As we're waiting, let me make sure where I'm supposed to pick up on. Entrance 3, question mark? Well, I'm parked here. Yeah, I can talk. Like I was saying, got to meet Felix. With you all should know who he is. He is has What About It, been around quite a while, and also got to spend some time talking to Jessica Kurish, I think is the way you say her name. Highly recommend her channel. I don't know if you can see it here, if the camera focus on her or not. She's been down here for a while too. She's doing things like you should do it. She only has 6,670 or 6,700 subscribers, or 6,670 subscribers, somewhere around there. But she's been down here doing a good job filming. She's been over at the Rocket Ranch, so she's gotten some good angles. Rocket Ranch has some great viewing angles for launches and static fires. I wish if I could afford to go over there and pay to be able to do some live streams from there, because they are a very nice live stream. Yes, that is true. The tanks, the water tanks don't need a liner, so it can hold more. That is true. I'm just thinking about the amount of water you need to pump out. I know they're looking for the suppression for the launch, with pumping that water out to suppress the noise, dampen the noise. But they can also be using for fire prevention and everything else. So, you know, it may not just be strictly for sound suppression. Again, if you're still watching my channel, if you're still there live, thank you very much. Like and subscribe does help. Check out What About It's channel. Felix, very nice gentleman. Him, his wife, and his family was here for Thanksgiving. It was very nice to meet them over here at Rocket Ranch. If you want a good SpaceX experience, I highly recommend Rocket Ranch. They have some little trailers that you can rent pretty inexpensively, as opposed to what hotels would run you. And they also have rooms to rent, or you can rent the entire house. You know, they have a lot of different options. They have some great viewing options too for any launches or static fire tests or anything, if you're in the area. Definitely contact them and check them out. They have some great memorabilia around there. A lot of nice guys there. They're not crazy. They're sane. They have knowledge. It's kind of fun talking to them. You know, one of the guys, he walked in wearing a shirt, and I immediately recognized it was a MOSFET before I even read the word MOSFET on the shirt. So that's just me being a geek. But it reminds me of using NOR gates back in the 90s for some stuff I used to do, little chip and programming. Reminds me of playing with Fortran and Cobalt. I miss those languages. You know, some things I miss. I miss a lot that I have at home. I miss all my stuff. I miss my guns. I miss my gear for my guns. I miss the equipment I used to build guns. I miss all my computers, all the electronic stuff I would tinker with. There's so many things I want to do, but I don't have my stuff here. I don't have my soldering iron here. I don't have my tools here. You know, even the hotel room, I was trying to fix a little hand vac I have, and I'm sitting there trying to figure out how to use and unscrew a Phillips screw out of Phillips screwdriver, using a pair of pliers and a small little flathead screwdriver that I had laying around. It's like, really? I have no tools. I've been here a year. I don't have that many changes of clothes either. I got a week's worth of clothes and I rewash them and every week and rewear them. But I have a closet full of clothes at home. It'll be nice to be able to actually physically move down here and get all my stuff here. I do enjoy it here. I do enjoy the people here. A lot of wonderful people here. And I'm doing everything I can to stay here. And I cherish every moment I get when I can get over here and actually film something. And I envy the ones out there like Jessica, who can be out there all day if she wants, filming and talking about stuff. I mean, when you can do stuff that you enjoy for a job, that makes life better. And even for me, working computers, that's what I do, that's what I know, that's what I love, that's what I live, that's what I breathe. I go to bed with a laptop next to me. And I have, like I was telling Starship Gazer, I have 15 terabytes of photos. I don't have time to view those photos and go through them. I have so much stuff I can upload, so many videos I can make. I just don't have time to sit down and do them because I am spending 13 to 14 hours a day, sometimes even more, just driving, trying to make what little money I can get. And the way the Uber works, whoever's closest gets the ride. So it's kind of hard on the island because you have one road that goes up. So someone just needs to get in front of you or behind you and they'll get the ride. So it's a matter of constantly driving up and down the road, trying to get closer to where a person might need a ride and hope you guessed right to try to make a little bit of money. And to me, it can be very boring and very aggravating. And when I get back to the hotel room, I'm just so tired, I just crawl in bed and I crash. And then I'm literally getting up at 3:34 in the morning, turning the app on, hoping to get a couple airport runs early in the morning for early morning flights. So I start my day at 3 or 4 in the morning and I end it at 10 or 11 at night. I'm exhausted. And it's not easy. It's not easy at all. But, you know, what did Jessica tell me? Her mantra is short-term pain, long-term gain. And yeah, that's a good mantra to have. But you know what? This short-term pain has been going on for a long damn time. I'm not going to live long enough for the gain. Yeah, things need to turn about. And it's just, it's difficult. And trying to make ends meet is hard. I do want to get the Starlink system. I can order it right now. it's just so expensive for me right now when I'm having to pay down all this debt. So it's not just ordering that, but it's also the monthly fee of that added to everything. Because like I've said, just to try to provide you what little I can provide y'all right now, I've already dropped $12,000. I have a lot of hardware, including what I'm streaming on right now, that I spent a lot of good money on. And again, this is all money out of my pocket. And it does hurt to have so few viewers. I'm hoping that changes. It makes me so angry to see other channels that are paying for viewers. They are paying for viewers. You can Google it. You can buy YouTube subscribers. You can buy YouTube viewers. It's not 100% legit. But there's a lot of channels that do that. And some of them have the robotic voices. Some of them are out there peddling snake oil. And you can tell. You see a channel that's hasn't even been around for a full year. And they have all these subscribers and all these, viewers every day. I'm sorry. There's something not kosher about that. There's something very suspicious about that. Yeah, you might be good at networking. But I don't think someone is that good. Especially going by their current content and stuff. I really don't think they're that good. And their lack of knowledge just dumbfounds me. It's like, how is this person getting this many viewers? I mean, he hasn't even seen a launch. But I've been here for all the launches. He might have seen one. I don't know. I've been here December 9th for that launch. I came out here October last year, and I stayed. And I told myself, I'm going to stay for at least a launch. And, I was just using my iPhone, I have it on there. It just... I've seen a lot of Falcon 9. I saw 9 Falcon 9 launches last year alone. Did I film any of them? No. Filming them is fun. It's great. But whenever you go to see a launch, go see the launch. Put down the camera. Put down the phone. Watch it with your own eyes. Listen to it with your own ears. Feel it in your soul. Feel those engines. And just know those engines are pushing you beyond the grasp of the gravity of this planet and taking you to orbit. Going to outer space. The amount of power it takes to do that. The amount of energy it takes to do that. Is a lot. So if you ever do get to see a launch, don't worry about filming the first. If you've never seen a launch before, don't worry about filming the first one or the second. Just experience it. Just be there for that experience. Because sometimes that's once in a lifetime thing. I cannot tell you how many shuttle launches I've been there to watch. And when I used to volunteer at the Science Museum of Virginia with their OmniMax projection system, with the Digital Star system, with all the speakers and subwoofers around there, When they do a shuttle launch at that theater, at the Science Museum of Richmond, Virginia, that is extremely close to being there. And I know, I've experienced them both. I used to volunteer there. I used to run the shows there in the planetarium. I used to work with the scientists there. I miss that. And we did everything we could to get that experience there as close as actually being there. And those subwoofers kick in, you feel it in that theater. And I have to say, it came to about 80% of what it was like to really be there. So if you ever find yourself in Richmond, Virginia, look for the old train station downtown at the Science Museum, Virginia. Look for anything they have that's playing there at their OmniMax projection to experience something. Y'all may have heard of IMAX. OmniMax is a little bit more in depth. IMAX is a big screen, but OmniMax is like 180. You look over your shoulder and you see things too. So you're really engulfed into that. The film in that is huge. The bulbs in the projector are huge, and under several atmospheres of pressure that when you change a bulb in those projectors, you have to wear a bomb disposal suit. And I'm not joking, because if you drop one of those bulbs, it's going to explode. And you will be hurt if you're not in a protective suit. There are liquid-cooled bulbs, very impressive. And of course, that's what we used to use, back then, in the 80s and 90s. I don't know if they've improved stuff now with lasers and projectors and stuff. Maybe they don't have to use as bright of bulbs or as big a film as that. Because those cameras to film in OmniMax are huge-ass cameras. And every piece of film was expensive. Anyway, please like and subscribe. I'm going to log off. Y'all have a nice day. And I am going to get to driving here. Thank you, and talk to y'all later.